Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee.
News Radio WGNS, Murfreesboro. The views and opinions on this show are those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and are not necessarily those of WGNS, its management, other hosts, or advertisers.
Good evening, everyone. Edwin Lee Raymer here with you with another edition of the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Ed Raymer, I should say. Thank you. Thank you, Jackson. Jackson can clean up from my mess that I make every time I come in here. It's good to be with y'all. I'll tell you what I want to do. Getting started a little late tonight. I was running a little late, and Jack's covered for me. That's good board man for you. So fellas, ladies and gentlemen, if you're on radio or television, don't ever throw your board man on the bus, because it can come back to haunt you. Thank you, Jack. Let's go ahead and open this thing up. While I catch my breath, I'm old and fat. Yeah, but for right now, my name is Edwin Lee Raymer, and yes, I'm still a private investigator. Welcome aboard.
This is the Edwin Lee Raymer Show with your host, Ed Raymer, on your good neighbor station, News Radio, WGNS Murfreesboro.
All right, and that is a little stiff upper lip for you from AC/DC. Larry Cawthon, you don't have to wait any longer. I'm right here. My name is Edwin. This is Edwin Lee Raymer Show, and I'm your host, Ed Raymer. You either, Rob Mitchell. This show's produced at the studios of WGNS AM 1450, 100.5, and 101.9 FM right here in the heart of the great volunteer state, Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Now, you can reach me tonight with your questions, comments, or thoughts at 615-893-1450. That's 615-893-1450. You also text us that number, and Jackson will be glad to read it over the air. He'll write it down and hand it to me. For those of you that might be a little too high or too shy to go on the air and when we don't want to be heard live, you can also go to WGNS News Radio, WGNS, on YouTube, and you can find us there. Okay? And listen and watch all of our shows. And I know many of you that may be listening later in the week. If you're listening now, I know you don't listen until sometime. I've got friends that work at jobs at factories. They put their earbuds in and they listen via the station's podcast perfectly good, perfectly fine. And so that's Edwin Lee Raymer Show on YouTube. Okay, it'll pull it up. You may have to mess with it a while, but it'll get you there. Now you can also download the WGNS app and take WGNS with you wherever you go and listen whenever you wish. Take a listen to the gentleman that was just on before us. This is a fine man. They're doing some good work here, and they're just great people. And also Angela Bingham. She's my buddy, and we punch and kick and tag each other back and forth a bit, but she's a wonderful person. Her and her sister have been singing together a long time, and we're glad to have her here with Simplicity. And she's been on there about 5 years with that thing now and doing a great job, doing some great work here in Rutherford County and Murfreesboro. And to my knowledge, still feeding people. I want to tell you about my newest sponsor. I'm so glad they're here. They are Keep It Running Heating and Air. Are you and your family looking for a local and family-owned heating and cooling company? Let me tell you to introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Air, Heating and Cooling. Joe has over 12 years' experience. He didn't just start last week and fall off the turnip truck. He and his company Keep It Running, located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're fully insured and licensed, and all the good paperwork that goes with that. If you haven't done it, you haven't lived. And they are available to help you. He and his company, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to help you and your family with all your heating and cooling needs. So we're going to be needing some of that cooling because we're just now getting ready to go into August. So get ready, folks. And so if you're looking for a company you can trust, you contact Joe today at 962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. And please visit their website at www.keepitrunningsheatingandcooling.com and catch them on Facebook as well. Okay? Now, I've got something here I want to talk about, if I may. And I'll get Jackson in here in a minute. He's got to do this for me. This is from her July 17th broadcast, okay? And yes, I am here, even though you may not. I don't know if you can see me now or not. Here I am. Okay. And we're going to play this for you. She let out, this is, as you all know, if you keep up with Rachel Maddow or MSNBC, whatever, she is only on Monday nights now, okay? And she is on, and then Alex Wagner takes over Tuesday through Friday, okay? But she had a very good broadcast this past Monday, okay? And it concerns, and she started out her broadcast with us right here in good old Tennessee on a story that was reported in the Tennessean. And it seems that not only our Attorney General, but those in 19 other states, Kentucky, Arkansas, Georgia, Mississippi, North Dakota, South Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, Texas, Utah, Alaska, Alabama, Idaho, Indiana, Louisiana, Missouri, have decided they know what's best for you ladies out there and your medical records, okay? Now, this is about 5 minutes, about 6 minutes in length. And I'm going to have Jackson start this. Jackson, if you could start this with Rachel at about 3:30, please. That's when she gets into the part that we're talking about right now. Take a listen to this, and I'll talk to you on the other side.
So it was just a week ago, we covered Tennessee's Republican Attorney General seizing the private medical records of trans people in that state. Well, here's the lead in a breaking news story in the Tennessean newspaper tonight. Tennessee's Attorney General wants the state to be able to investigate and compel information on out-of-state abortions. These are your private medical records. They are taking them already from trans people in Tennessee. Now they want to take them from any Tennessee woman who has had an abortion in another state. In another state, yeah. If you live in Tennessee and you need to get an abortion, well, Republicans have instituted an abortion ban in Tennessee. So you can't get one in Tennessee anymore. You will need to travel out of state. But Tennessee's Republican Attorney General now says he intends to effectively follow you out of state to get your medical records to see if you got an abortion somewhere else, even in a state where it's legal. That's the Tennessean tonight. And oh, look, it's also in Kentucky. Tonight in the Louisville Courier-Journal, the Kentucky Attorney General wants Kentuckians' out-of-state abortion records to be available to authorities. Oh, it's not just Tennessee, it's also Kentucky. Oh, and look, here it is in Arkansas, too, today in the Arkansas Times. Arkansas Attorney General wants to know about your out-of-state abortion. It's happening with the Republican Attorney General in Arkansas, too. Oh, and look, here tonight. Here it is in Georgia. Georgia Attorney General. And here it is in Mississippi. Mississippi's Attorney General. Records from a clinic in New York or in Illinois or wherever else you go. They claim the right to follow you there and take your private medical records from there for their own law enforcement purposes. And I just showed you headlines from Mississippi, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Georgia, but it is actually 19 different states where Republican officials are going for this now. 19 Republican attorney generals in 19 states have signed on to a letter to the Biden administration saying they want the right to go after women's private medical records anywhere in the country, including all the states where abortion is legal. They want to follow their residents all over the country to see if that woman might be getting an abortion or some other kind of reproductive care anywhere. They want the records, and they claim the right to go get them. Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, North Dakota, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah. Republican attorneys general in all of those states have sent this letter to the Biden administration about their right, as they see it, to get your private medical records. And they mean it for women getting an abortion or potentially fertility treatment or any kind of reproductive care, potentially contraception. And yes, also gender-affirming care of any kind. They claim the right to go take your private medical records to see what you're up to with that kind of care, no matter where you have gone to get it. How can you get away from something like this? I mean, if this is what they say they want to do, and it is, how do you get away from it? The reason they've written to the Biden administration saying they claim this right is because the Biden administration says they should not have the right to do this. The Biden administration is trying to assert federally that attorneys general from states where abortion is banned can't follow their residents to other states to see if they're getting banned care from someplace where it's legal. Beyond those efforts to protect this at the federal level from the Biden administration, you've also started to see blue states, places like New York and Washington State, that have also passed state laws saying that nobody should be able to get private medical records like this. Just because you've banned abortion in your state doesn't mean you can effectively enforce it in mine. But here's 19 Republican states, 19 Republican state attorney generals saying they're going for it. And maybe they already are. When reporter Joe Sonka from the Louisville Courier-Journal today asked the Kentucky Attorney General's office if they have already pursued private medical records from Kentucky women who've had medical treatment in other states, the Attorney General's office didn't give Joe Sonka an answer. He says he has still not heard back from the Attorney General's office about this, which leaves open the possibility that maybe they are already doing this. Maybe they are already trying or getting these medical records. They used to say that the Republican Party was the party of limited government. This is a lot of things, but this is not that. Joining us now is Minnie Timaraju. She's president of NARAL Pro-Choice America. And Ms. Timaraju, it's really great to see you.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to cut it off at that point. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Jackson's going to take our first series of breaks, and we're at 16, almost 17 after. We're going to go to our first series of breaks. And I'm going to talk about this when we come back. Ed Raymer with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we are back. And before I comment, we have a caller on the line. Caller, please, go ahead.
Mr. Raymer, how was your week?
Well, fine. Jeff, how are you doing?
Oh, not doing too bad. Just kind of getting ready for some football here in a few weeks. So
it will be here before you know it.
I'm hoping it cools off by then, but I think it might be November 1st before it cools off. I don't know.
Well, September's about like July and August here in Tennessee, it's still pretty warm.
Did you see the night that Fenway Park got flooded? So the water going down the stairs there. You see that?
I did not I didn't see that.
We had a bunch of flooding up there, but they showed the ballpark, and there was water flooding going up the stair where you go up to get your seat in the ballpark.
Right.
And it's water flowing down like a river going down through there.
Right. Okay.
The ballpark flooded over it. I guess they canceled the ball game. I don't know, but it looked like a river going down through. Looked like a river flood from so much water up there flooded and everything. Of course, Kentucky got it too. Mayfield up there, they got more flooding up there. Like they need some more rain.
I'm telling you, Jeff, you wouldn't mind if I looked into your medical records, would you?
Oh no, you do it. I'll take you to court. That's 5 minutes. You won't have to worry about it. I'll be in court any day.
I know.
I'll be there 7:45 before they open up.
Did you hear? You heard Rachel Maddow, I guess.
Yes.
How you feel about that?
It's pretty unfortunate, but that's what we got. The Republican Party these days. That's what we got. So,
well, I'm tired of people calling themselves conservatives that aren't conservative at all.
Well, they think they are, but
Well, they're what Chris Matthews used to call the cloth coat Republican.
That's true.
That's what he called it.
That's true. Did you see Mark Levin's new book that's come out?
Whose book?
Mark Levin. The great one, Mark Levin. He's so great and everything. Fox News.
Oh, I've heard about him. I try not.
Did you hear about his new book he's got out?
No, what is it now?
The name of it is The Democratic Party Hates America.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the name of it.
Well, I know me and you go around, with that on the side of our car all the time, and
Well, I want to tell you. Did you hear about what happened? The Ford plant over this week? There's a company out of Canada, Magna. If you hear about that?
No, go ahead.
They're going to build like the parts, like Nissan has plants for the parts, the cars they make.
Right, sure.
So they're going to build 2 of them. It's going to be a stand where the plant is at Blue Oval. See the plant they build, and one of them is going to be in Lawrenceburg. You know where Lawrenceburg's at?
Right, sure.
They're going to be one over, and one of them is going to be for the seats. Like where the different little parts of seats and batteries and things. Like Nissan's got the parts for their cars they make, or the parts and things.
Right.
So they they're going to have 3 of them. 2 of them's going to be where it's staying, and 1 of them's going to be in Lawrenceburg. They said it'd be between the 3 plants about 1,300 jobs. 3 plants.
Goodness gracious.
1,300 jobs.
That's good. That's a bunch of jobs.
They said once they get that plant, they said 2025 when they want to have it completed and everybody working. They said once they get that plant, well, you won't believe this. So once they get that plant running, full speed,
right?
Full plant, 500,000 electric trucks a year.
500,000 trucks a year.
Electric trucks even Ford's going to make.
Who are they going to sell them to?
I don't know. Well, Steve Rivers might want a few. I know he likes electric stuff. He might want a few.
I'm telling you, Jeff. Thank you so much. Anything else?
I just want to holler at you. Hope you have a good week. Take care.
Same to you. Be talking to you. Jeff Neal, everybody. Good support of this broadcast. Now, I want to comment on what Rachel said. I want you to listen to this. Like I just told Jeff, folks, it's not about just, ladies, it's not just about, and some of you notice I put this on Facebook. Hello, Carol Ann. Good to hear from you again, always. And also Rita. Rita, thank you. Appreciate you both. Eric, I hope that Becca's listening. I asked her to. It is not just about me being able to get your records, or the state, not me, the state. Okay? It's about where does it stop? Well, they just want to put a curb on abortion. Okay, all right, okay. What about a curb on heart surgery? By the way, that's another thing. Can a man now still have a vasectomy? That's a form of birth control. I don't know. Is it still legal? I don't know. Ladies, I want to tell you something. And I want you to listen to me, and I want you to listen good. I am tired of a bunch of people running around here calling yourselves conservatives when you're not conservative at all. Okay? John McCain was a conservative. Richard Nixon, for goodness sakes, was a conservative. Dwight D. Eisenhower was a conservative. Barry Goldwater was a conservative. Okay? Mitt Romney, I'm prone to believe, please don't let me down, Mitt, is a conservative. Conservative values. No one's coming after your guns. Women's health care issues are important in this country, ladies and gentlemen. And this Supreme Court, courtesy of Donald Trump, is helping to tear this country apart, life from limb, limb by limb, every single day. And half the country says, I think I'd vote for him again. Really? This is the same guy, by the way, that's now lost 2 elections in a row, and I hope getting ready to lose his 3rd. And by the way, the first one he lost to a girl, okay? Now, ladies, I'm going to say something else to you, and I know I'll hear some blowback from this probably this week when I run into you. You better quit voting how your old man tells you to vote, okay? When your old man grows a uterus, then maybe he can tell you how to vote. Till then, he needs to shut his mouth. Okay? Hello, Hooper Peniel. I saw you were listening. Thank you. Okay? Quit, well, my granddaddy was a Republican. No. Your granddad was probably a true conservative. There's a difference. This is not your grandfather's Republican Party. And somebody go, yeah, it's a good thing. I'm a Trump supporter. Yeah, really? I've got something a good friend of mine sent me. I'm not going to play it because it's pretty long. Of all the bankruptcies, of all the failed marriages, of all the wives, of all the girlfriends, of all the people in porn, that this quote-unquote president, this information, that's just the tip of the iceberg, folks. He is involved in so many lawsuits right now, he will never crawl out from under them. He will be being sued and be in court, but it's different, until the day he leaves this world. Let me tell you something, though. This is a different ballgame. I told you a couple weeks ago, this man is in federal court now. I've handled cases in general sessions for myself. It's no big deal. Went in, told the truth. So, win a few, lose one here or there. It's the way it goes. That's fine. But when you're dealing with people on a federal basis, I told you, you'd best listen to me. This is a whole different ball game for him. I hope. Of course, he's built that little alien cannon down there in Florida. They've set that one up. He'll already have secured the nomination probably of the Republican Party by May next year. I don't understand. I thought he wanted a speedy trial. And I'm going to play something for you maybe later in the broadcast. Eric Stallwell said this on Morning Joe. If he wants a speedy trial, if you're innocent of everything, why don't you go ahead and do this and get it over with? So you'd be cleared out for your presidential campaign. What happened to your speedy trial? Call me, Republicans. Pick up that 1,000-pound phone. Give me a call. Oh, sit there and shake it. Oh, that guy's crazy. No, I'm not. I am not. You like what Chris Matthews used to refer, I told Jeff a while ago, cloth coat Republicans. Don't give me that stuff. John McCain was a conservative. I watched a clip of him last night. I'm not going to play it, don't worry, where he defended Barack Obama and Barack Obama's integrity. This was before Barack Obama was ever president. They were running for president. It was President Bush's last term. And you all remember the lady stood up. He's a Muslim. He's an Arab. No, he's not. No, ma'am. He is not. He is a good, decent family man. We happen to have differences on politically. That's it. Y'all pushed that one till you just couldn't push it anymore. And, of course, President Obama won 2 elections on you. You really couldn't. You really come up against it on that one, didn't you? Yeah. I'm tired of people talking about their conservative values when you don't have any values. You've got priorities. That's all you have. You have no values. You have a bunch of priorities. Lower taxes for the rich, that doesn't even affect you until you get into the $50, $60 million bracket. Sit down and hush. Everyone's tired of talking to you. We got some of you people out here worth $1 million, $2 million. You're talking like you're Jeff Bezos or something. You're not. Whoa, boy. Raymer's on a stump tonight, isn't he? God, he's really coming on strong. You ain't had nothing, folks. You ain't seen nothing yet. It's going to get nothing but worse. I don't know. The station may not let me hang around here much longer. I don't know. It's their station, not mine. I know that, and I respect it. That's fine. Free press. Yeah, press is free as long as you own one. I thank goodness this station has let me have a whole lot of rope. And in my time, I've hung myself plenty of times with rope. I got friends that know that. They know. Give him enough rope, he'll hang himself eventually. And I have. My wife would be the first to tell you that. That's okay. But what is going on in this country now, ladies and gentlemen, is wrong. This individual that wishes to run on the Republican ticket or runs on the Republican ticket and calls himself a conservative voted Democrat most of his life until he got ready to run for president. And he's so an easy target. He could go out here and find an idea and exploit it and make you scared of it. It's what they've done with abortion. I noticed a picture, I think I mentioned it maybe, of the Supreme Court when they all sit for their, they're all in their robes. They sit for their annual portrait or pictures or whatever the press comes in. And someone went in and made 6 of them kangaroos. I said, yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Yeah, you've got it. Telling all the ladies, a bunch of old men, here's what the law shall be. Jax, let's go to a couple of ads. I'll be right back with you right after this. This is Ed Raymer with the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. Stay with us. Back right after this. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. You know, if you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged to follow, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or AA.org.
Thank you, Jackson, and we are back. And I want to remind you about my newest sponsor. Once again, I want you to keep it running. Heating and air conditioning, heating and cooling. If you want your family to find a local family-owned family-owned. Let me start that over again. Looking for a local family-owned heating and cooling company. I want to introduce you to Joe at Keep It Running Heating and Cooling. Joe's been at this over a dozen years. He didn't just start last week. Joe and his company and his people at Keep It Running are located right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. They're fully licensed and insured and available. If I can quit belching, I'm sorry, I sound like I had a couple of belts. I haven't. Are available to help you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with all you and your family with all your heating and cooling needs. Now these cooling needs are going to be coming about. So, also get signed up with Joe, and get your unit serviced once or twice a year. It saves you so much. It'll prolong the life of your unit. It's a good thing to do, and do that. So if you're looking for a company you can trust, call Joe today at 615-962-2397. That's 615-962-2397. And I want you to visit their website at www.keepitrunningsheatingandcooling.com. And you can catch them on Facebook as well. Find people. Get to know them. You will not regret it. Now, I want to play you something. This is courtesy of TYT Sports via YouTube. Thank you. It's about 5 minutes in length. Now, Greg Popovich, who I've seen here and there, he is the head coach. He's legendary head coach of the San Antonio Spurs, and he just signed a massive contract extension, and it made him the highest paid coach in the league. Now, there's a bunch of people over at an outfit called Outkick that are not happy about what he had to say, and Sharon Reed breaks this down. Jackson, you go ahead and pop that in. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Greg Popovich.
Of course, no stranger to speaking the truth to power about issues he's passionate about.
Lindsey Graham or Jim Jordan, whoever of them have kids or nieces or nephews or grandkids, can they imagine that happening to theirs? Are they incapable of knowing what that's like?
Here, going scorched earth on the GOP enablers perpetuating the seemingly endless cycle of gun violence.
Senator Marsha Blackburn, her comment after the massacre, my office is in contact with federal, state, and local officials, and we stand ready to assist. In what? They're dead. What are you going to assist with? Cleaning up their brains off the wall? Wiping the blood off the schoolroom floor? What are you going to assist with? Bill Lee, I'm closely monitoring the tragic situation. Please join us in prayer. What are you monitoring? They're dead. Children, they're dead. But Ted Cruz will fix them because he's going to double the number of cops in the schools. That's what he wants to do. Well, that'll create a great environment. Is that freedom? Or is it freedom to have a congressman who could make a postcard with all his family holding rifles, including an AR-15 or whatever? Is that cool? Is that like street cred for a Republican? But the cowardice and the selfishness of the legislators who are so scared to death of being primaried and losing their job, losing their power, losing their salary, you'd like to get each one of them in a room, just one by one, and say, what's more important to you? If you could vote for some good gun safety laws that most of the public agrees to, would you do that if it saved one kid? Or is your job and your money so important to you that you would say, screw the kid?
And Popovich is exactly right here. Gun violence has been so normalized in this country that Pop's caricature of how too many Republicans ignore the issue, it is now expected these days. And now with Popovich agreeing to stay in San Antonio with another 5-year contract, reportedly worth more than $80 million, and becoming the highest paid coach in NBA history, the haters have come out in full force, with Dan Zakshesk of Outkick railing against Pop and his new contract. Zakshesk is using Pop's new contract as definitive proof that meritocracy in the U.S. actually exists, as well as clearly indicating that capitalism is, in fact, the best economic system possible and is working just fine, all because he thinks Pop earned his contract. However, the most preposterous criticism leveled against Pop is Zakshesk accusing him of being a hypocrite for attacking the country, presupposing that, well, it's impossible for someone to criticize their country and love it too. Those beliefs are by no means mutually exclusive, because it's the love and hope we have for the future, of course, and the changes that can be made to the country that keeps us fighting to make it a better place. But to people like Zakshesk and Clay Travis, there's just no way this can be a real thing. And in Travis's case, Pop's politics are why the NBA is supposedly declining in popularity.
From 1998 to 2020, the NBA Finals lost 80% of their audience. And they've continued to lose massive amounts of audience over the last 4 years because they have embraced woke, left-wing politics. Why is the NBA 4 of the last 5 years, worst ever in the last 30 years, happen? It's because they went woke. In the Trump era, as the NBA embraced woke politics, remember they put education reform and say her name and respect us, all these different crazy things on the back of jerseys in 2020. Remember they refused to play with Jacob Blake. They refused to play a playoff game. Black Lives Matter emblazoned on the court. Make no mistake, what exactly happened? The NBA embraced woke politics.
You got to watch that NBA embracing that woke politics. Boy, I'll tell you. By the way, I want to tell you something else. Bill Wilson is here, Mr. Murfreesboro. He has a broadcast tonight that you've got to hear. It is on human trafficking. I know Bill can speak for himself, but I want to give him kudos here. He's doing a broadcast, and young lady's coming in to help him with this thing, and I want you to stick around for this, if you would. Be well worth your time. You know, we are in contact, or in availability of, and I think Mark said this, Mark Anderson was last week from Rutherford County Sheriff's Office on the Drug Task Force. And we are in contact with so many, have access to a great percentage of the population just right here east of the Mississippi. Because of I-24, I-65, I-40, and now 840, by the way. I'm telling you, we've got, and it's serious business. Okay, so I want you to listen if you would. I think you'll, I intend to listen, and this is going to be a good broadcast. Now, back to what Coach Popovich was talking about. They're mad because they want an NBA coach to just talk about nothing but the NBA. Why? Now, this is not the first time Coach Popovich has done this. I've seen him on many occasions lose it. And I'm not saying he's a Democrat. I'm saying he's a reasonable thinking person. Sorry. I'm telling you. This thing of, the Democrats, let me tell you something. Get to the polls and vote. Ladies, we're talking about these medical records. I want you to do me a favor. Please do yourself a favor. Get on your phone. Everybody's got a cell phone nowadays. Call your mothers. Call your daughters. Call your nieces. Honey, if they're old enough, are you registered to vote? I'm not asking, are you going to vote? No. Are you registered to vote? And make sure you are registered, ladies. You heard Coach Popovich just a while ago talk about gun controls. What is it, like 78% of the people in the nation are begging for sensible gun laws. Begging. Oh, we've got another special session coming up. Governor Bill Lee, who Greg Popovich mentioned as well. You know, I got to tell you about Tennessee, and I'm glad to be living here in Middle Tennessee. We've got some of the finest schools, and wish the Board of Education quit messing with them. That's the reason everybody moved here, is because we had great schools. Listen, you know, I had a good friend, and he had moved here from out of state, Iowa, Ohio, Illinois, wherever. And his mom had called him. I believe it was his mother called, or one of his family, one of his relatives, and said, hey, how's it going down there? I know you've been down there a couple of months now. Said, oh, yeah, going pretty good. It's nice here. I like it. Said, well, every night we watch the news, and Tennessee, and especially Middle Tennessee, is on the news. You're making the news. I said, tell us what that's all about. He said, well, come to think of it, you're right. Yeah. Uh-huh. And it's not good news, folks. There's nothing good about it. When you're limiting people's rights. Jackson, let's go to our last series of breaks. This is Ed Raymer for the Edwin Lee Raymer Show. I'll be right back with you. We're going our last series of breaks. Stay with us. Hello, everyone. It's Ed with Private Investigations in Middle Tennessee. If you just need someone checked out on a background check, tag them a run, or if you need someone full-fledged followed, give us a call. You can reach me at 615-390-7219. That's 615-390-7219. Or check out our website at piofmt.com. That's piofmt.com.
I felt so alone, scared, angry, full of self-pity. I just wanted to die, so I took another drink. Then I heard about AA and went to my first meeting. The people there talked about those same feelings. I was no longer alone. They gave me help to stop drinking and hope to start living. Alcoholics Anonymous, it works. Look us up. Check your phone book, newspaper, or aa.org.
Hey, this is Ed, everybody. Want to tell you about a sponsor of ours. We've got Complete Yard Care. Their slogan is, we do it all. Low maintenance landscape design, retaining walls, tree removal, stump grinding, lawns cut, mulching, landscaping. Now you can reach them at 615-785-0384. Or you can look them up on the web at CompleteYardCareTN.com. They have a 5-star ranking on Google. That's Complete Yard Care. We do it all. Go to J. Mullins Jewelers and check out their collection of reactor watches. They're located at 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And also custom-made jewelry. If you want it, they can make it for you. Also gifts for any and all occasions. Weddings, graduations, family reunions, anniversaries, all of it. That's J. Mullins Jewelers, 352 West Northfield Boulevard right here in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we are back for our last little segment. Thank you. I was wondering where you were headed. Thank you, Jackson. Thanks to all of our sponsors. I want to thank Tim and Jay Mullins. Always, I want to thank Complete Yard Care. I want to thank the folks, Joe and Melissa at Keep It Running, Heating and Cooling, for coming aboard with us. I appreciate it. And yes, I'll try and get with you this week sometime. It's been a little busy so far this summer. But at any rate, and like I said, Bill's guests are starting to show up when you get a chance to get in here. And, hang on the line when I sign off, because I want you to hear this. This show, his broadcast he's getting ready to do is on human trafficking, okay? And this is important. I want to play for you just a little piece of something else. It's from a book by Miles Taylor. Miles Taylor was a former Department of Homeland Security chief of staff, and he wrote the 2018 New York Times opinion piece from inside the Trump administration. Now, he wrote this anonymously. He wrote the book. He's written a new one, Blowback, a warning to save democracy from the next Trump. He also wrote a book our daughter got me called A Warning. He wrote that one. He wanted it to be anonymous, okay? I think this young man knows what he's talking about. And I want you to hear this, what he's talking about. You need to get a warning. I have the book. If some of you are listening, you want it, I'll be glad to loan it to you, but believe me, I want it back, because you're not going to believe what you read, okay? Go ahead, Jax. Let's play this, and then I'll shut up.
2018, the Trump administration and the country was turned upside down by an anonymous opinion piece in the New York Times from an unnamed senior member of the administration. The op-ed author wrote a group of staffers who were working to keep Trump's more radical impulses at bay while still governing the country. Quote, "The dilemma, which he does not fully grasp, is that many of the senior officials in his own administration are working diligently from within to frustrate parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations. I would know. I am one of them." The piece continued, "There is a quiet resistance within the administration of people choosing to put country first. But the real difference will be made by everyday citizens rising above politics, reaching across the aisle and resolving to shed the labels in favor of a single one: Americans."
That author was later revealed to be former Department of Homeland Security Chief of Staff Miles Taylor. And Miles joins us out. He's here with a new book, Blowback, a warning to save democracy from the next Trump. Thanks so much for being with us, Miles.
Still working
Jonathan
on this one.
Here, obviously on set, has first question for you. Jonathan.
Miles, congrats on the book. So walk us through this, what you're trying to detail here. Obviously, your op-ed illuminated to the American people the effort that some in the administration were trying to do to stop Donald Trump's worst impulses. He's not gone. And this book, right, is a warning as to what could come next.
Yeah, and look, no one wants to read another Trump retrospective. I'll be the first to say that. My God, the shelves are just filled with them. We don't care what people's Trump memoirs are. And what I was frustrated by is no one's painting a picture of how truly devastating it would be to the fabric of our republic to make this mistake again, to put Donald Trump back in the White House or a copycat. And right now, when you look at the field, most of the field, with a few exceptions, are lining up to be Trump's successor, to be the MAGA copycat. People don't have to listen to me. And so for this book, I spent 2 years interviewing the people closest to Trump, his cabinet secretaries from his administration, senior Republicans in Congress, to say, paint a clear-eyed picture for me about what that second MAGA term will look like. And it was not a pretty picture.
So we got a little bit of reporting, timely reporting this week on this from the New York Times, suggesting that part of the Trump effort, were he to win, would be to really strip down a lot of the government agencies, to try to seize control more of the bureaucracy, institutions in our government that by law or by tradition are independent from the West Wing. Trump wants to get rid of all that. He wants to consolidate even more power in the executive branch, frankly, in the Oval Office itself. How big of a concern that is for you? What steps could be done to prevent it?
Yeah, look, Trump and the article in the New York Times, that was just the tip of the iceberg. Great reporting from Maggie Haberman and Jonathan Swan. This book then goes a level deeper and details the play-by-play, department by department, Democratic guardrail by Democratic guardrail, and their plans to dismantle those guardrails. Now, look, I'm not a political person. I've never worked on a political campaign in my life. I got my career started in national security. That's where I work. I thought I would spend my career after 9/11 focused on foreign terrorist threats, Russia and China and Iran. Instead, the biggest threat to the national security of the United States right now is Donald J. Trump and the potential of a savvier successor taking over the MAGA movement. Why? Because in these interviews with people I spoke to in the book, longtime public servants, other national security officials, they detailed how the powers of government will be heavily weaponized in a second term. And I was actually hesitant to put some of that in this book because I thought people are going to think this is hyperbolic. And then, true to form, 2 months ago, Donald Trump comes out and announces the theme of his campaign, which is I am your retribution. And throughout this book, from the Defense Department to DHS to the Department of Education, his former officials detailed how he wants to weaponize those tools to get after his political adversaries. That's not how government's supposed to work.
Miles, in the book, you write about how the Republican base is radicalized and how that is leading Republican politicians to pander to that base. At Department of Homeland Security, you certainly are familiar with studying radicalization among different groups and segments all around the world. Do you believe that the politicians now have become radicalized?
Yeah, I really regret to say it because, again, I can't say the word hyperbolic enough. It's 5 years ago, we would have heard me saying that on TV and said, this guy's lost his mind. You know, he's an extremist by saying that they're extremists.
Or is it for real
when
it comes to Republican officials who are sticking with Donald Trump?
Well, there's two things happening. The senior officials in Washington, I mean, all the way up to the Speaker of the House, know better. In private, they tell their aides and their friends that Donald Trump and the MAGA movement are a threat to this country. In public, they bolster it, they promote it, they continue to champion a twice impeached, twice indicted, disgraced ex-president and his faulty movement. And private, again, they have totally different opinions. That's one thing. But what's happened is the public hears something else, and it's resulted in a radicalized base. Again, don't trust me. Look at the data. Fringe conspiracy theories that just a few years ago were provably false and very few people believed. QAnon, the great replacement theory that somehow third world people are coming into the United States to replace whites and it's a conspiracy, and the idea of a stolen election have gone again from fringe ideas to being accepted by the majority of Republican voters. There's nothing you can call that other than radicalization.
Professor Eddie Glaude Jr., you've got the next question.
Miles, so you've detailed very clearly the substance of the danger. Now, what is the stuff of the solution? How do we respond to all that you've just described?
Well, I'm going to say something really, really ironic when it comes to me. And in the course of writing this, through a very long and fraught and painful experience, I concluded that the biggest threat to our democracy is anonymity. Okay, yes, ironic coming from so-called anonymous, but why? Because by keeping my opinions masked behind a pseudonym, it prevented other people from coming forward. It encouraged them to hide those views. I found out when I unmasked myself that it gave air cover for other people to come forward. Right now, I think the biggest threat is this collective anonymity in the Republican Party, especially in the leadership. The knowledge that Trump is dangerous, antithetical to all of the things we as conservatives wanted to see in the Republican Party, and the refusal to say that out loud.
That, again, is Miles Taylor, the former Department of Homeland Security Chief of Staff under Trump. And he's the one who wrote the 2018 New York Times opinion piece from inside the Trump administration. He wrote it anonymously. And he skewered him pretty good. Folks, I know a lot of people are scared to talk about this. And that's the problem. Don't be scared. Stand up. You've heard it. You heard Miles Taylor say it right there. I think this young man knows what he's talking about. You've got leaders, massively, the Speaker of the House, that talk in private. You know, yeah, the guy's a nut. We got a problem. We got to do this, blah, yada, yada, yada. And then they get up in public. He's the man. He's the man. I'd hate to think I was that weak bone, that I was that mushy bone, that I had no spine, no more than that. Remember what I played you from Rachel Maddow. It's not just about your records, ladies. It's about everyone else's. Okay? It's about all your medical records. All right. Bill's got a big and important guest coming in here. It's on human trafficking. I want you to listen to this broadcast because it's important. It's important to our area. I-24 is full of this, okay? And we're going to get them in here. I'm going to give them some extra time to get in here and get situated. Jackson, thank you. Go ahead and play us out for doing a great job on the board. I want to thank WGNS for allowing me to express my views and opinions as they have for the last decade. But I'll tell you what, till next Sunday at 8 o'clock, I'll catch you down the road. Good night.